This artist is the first to dominate the top 10 spots in the Billboard's Hot 100. They also have the most American Music Awards and was voted Artist of the Decade in 2019. Just last spring, they were given an honorary doctorate at NYU. All these accomplishments and many more belong to none other than Taylor Swift. Taylor's career has shifted from a Nashville sweetheart to a global pop star, allowing her to completely influence the music industry. I myself have attended the Taylor Swift Museum, 2 of her concerts, have followed her in news headlines, and have firsthand experience in the pre-sale disaster with Ticketmaster. Through her negotiations with streaming services, the fight for her masters, and record-breaking sales, she has the power to completely influence the music industry. Let me explain one of the first times she had the upper hand with music companies. After the release of her pop album 1989, she negotiated artist royalties with 2 major streaming services. In 2014, she pulled her catalog off of Spotify in response to their free tier giving lower payouts to artists. In an op-ed she wrote for the Wall Street Journal, she stated, "Music should not be free, and my prediction is that artists and their labels will someday decide what an album's price point is." With hits like Bad Blood and Shake It Off, this was a big hit to Spotify. The next year, Apple released Apple Music with a free 3-month trial, which would not be paying artists any royalties. Taylor immediately went to Tumblr to post an open letter discussing her disappointment with this. Overnight, Apple reversed its decision, allowing hesitant artists back and giving them some positive public publicity. She officially returned to celebrate a 100 million song certification from the RIAA in 2017. Although this was notably after Spotify gave a new windowing policy, giving paying customers an exclusive to free music for the first 2 weeks. Now that we've settled streaming service business, let's go on to some more recent news with her re-recordings. Her new record deal with Republic Records has allowed her to advocate for an artist's entitlement to their masters. In 2019, she released Lover, the first album that she owned outright. And she also announced at the same time she was planning to re-record her previous 6 albums to regain creative and monetary control. Here's Taylor at that announcement.
Yeah, that's true, and it's something that I'm very excited about doing because my contract says that starting November 2020, so next year, I can record albums 1 through 5 all over again. So I'm very excited about it because
why is this so important to you?
Because I think that artists deserve to own their work. I just feel very passionately about that.
As you can see, Taylor has the power to sway public opinion, giving us the ins and outs of record deals. Like Taylor, many artists have a 5-year contract, so her success could be used as a bargaining chip for other artists in their royalty deals. Her new record deal and the dominance of streaming services has allowed her to completely undermine the originals. According to Berkeley Music Business Journal, Red Taylor's version broke 2 Spotify records the day of release. As we wait for some more re-recording, the Eras Tour is already underway, making major headlines before even starting. The Ticketmaster pre-sale has allowed us to take a closer look into the monopoly of live events. According to Ticketmaster, 3.5 million people registered for the Verified Fan Program. Of those, 1.5 million got an access code, but the traffic, including bots, allowed for a 3.5 billion traffic on November 14th. With complaints such as high wait times, excessive charges, and technical glitches, has allowed hundreds of fans to file a lawsuit against Live Nation and Ticketmaster for misrepresentation, antitrust violations, and fraud. The federal government has also taken notice, with legislative action earlier this year, with a committee hearing with bipartisan concern over the 2010 merger. They've also had the Department of Justice and Attorney Generals of at least 4 states, including Tennessee, have undergone their own investigations for antitrust violation. To summarize, Taylor Swift has impacted multiple music companies. Her fearless negotiation with streaming services has allowed a change in the music streaming model. She chose to speak now for artists' rights and her commitment to re-recording her previous 6 albums. Her fans are red with anger over the missteps of Ticketmaster and the Eras Tour, allowing a closer look into the monopoly of live events. One thing is for sure, the 1989 singer, her reputation precedes her. With her and her fans alike, both lovers of music, she's created a folklore around her interpretation of how the music industry should be, and that impact might last evermore. Taylor Swift's midnights have become her afternoons, working around the clock to create examples of music corporations. Thank you.